We have Pradeep Datta and Nilashish joining us on the broadcast. Let's first go across to Nilashish. Nilashish, help us understand what we just witnessed today, what transpired in terms of the procedure that is going to be followed. What we do know is that the hearing will commence on the 2nd of August.
Absolutely, the hearing will commence on the 2nd of August in front of a 5-judge constitutional bench led by the Chief Justice of India. What was discussed thereafter were the modalities, because the intent was clear from the bench that they wish for the hearing to continue on a day-to-day basis, and to ensure that there is a speedy hearing, that the hearing goes smoothly. They have spoken about modalities with regard to the documentation, the convenience compilation being filed by the 27th. So by the time the hearing actually does commence, all the papers, all the documents are in place. The court very specifically said that after the 27th of July, there will be no further pleadings, there will be no further documents that will be allowed to be taken on board. So that is something that again clarifies the intent of the bench. Secondly, they also said that the petitioners, because there are 23 petitioners in this case, in that situation, all the petitioners must get together and ensure that they tell the court the order in which they will argue, how much they will argue, how much time they will take. And very, very significantly, another aspect that came out from the hearing is that 2 petitioners have in fact withdrawn. The lead petitioner, Shah Faisal, who is a bureaucrat who is with the Union Ministry now, has withdrawn his petition, and also former JNU student Shaila Rashid has withdrawn her petition as well. So now that leaves 21 petitioners in this particular case. The Supreme Court was very clear in saying that all the documents need to come in by the 27th. There should be a compilation, and we will not entertain anything beyond the 27th as far as paperwork and documentation is concerned, and to ensure an effective, speedy and smooth hearing from the 2nd of August. There should be modalities put in place, the logistics should be in place.
Absolutely. So Nilashish, stay on with us. Let's also go across to Harish. Very, very significant. From the 2nd of August now, the hearing will commence on abrogation of 370. Like Nilashish was highlighting, there have been 2 withdrawals of petition. Court making it clear that, you know, the lawyers will have to sit together and decide who will take how much time. So ahead of the hearing, the court clearing certain things in terms of the procedure that is going to be followed. Of course, on camera, it was witnessed by the entire country how things will proceed from here on.
Yes, Swati, in fact, the new bench has not, it was not expected to go into the merits of the petition straight away. And today, in fact, it has taken care of the preliminary issues like procedural directions about filing of documents and written submissions. In a way, is that the Supreme Court's new constitution bench, which is set to hear 23 petitions, which has thought challenge the abrogation of Article 370, has fast-tracked the entire hearing, saying that there will be day-to-day hearing from August 2nd, and as Nilashish said, there are very strict directions given as far as housekeeping is concerned. All filings, documentations and documents and written submissions have to be in place by July 27th, and court has made it very clear that after 27th no documents will be entertained, and the hearing will begin in right earnest from August 2nd, and also said that it will be a day-to-day hearing. Why this is important is because Swati, this hearing has been hanging fire since almost the last hearing happened 3 years before. In fact, nearly this hearing itself is happening 4 years after Article 370 is abrogated, and 3 years after the last hearing.
Harish, there is some disturbance in the audio line connecting with you. We will connect with you once again. Before that, let me go across to Pradeep Datta. Pradeep, what are the kind of political reactions that you've been able to track so far? Now, the centre has also filed an affidavit, and the centre is citing peace in Valley as an indicator of success. The centre says there is stability and there is progress now.
Yes, Centre filed a fresh affidavit in this regard, and they are going to defend and justify their decision of dilution of Article 370 and 35. Yes, Centre has made it clear that how things have really changed, how abrogation of Article 370 has brought in stability and peace in the region. And they're also talking about the mainstreaming of youngsters, because earlier 199 youngsters used to join different terror rank. But this year, if you look at the figure, it has come down to 12. That means instead of guns and stones, they're holding now pens and laptops in their hand, because schools and colleges remain open opened, unlike what used to happen in the past, because off and on there used to be hartal kal given by the separatist organization. Not only that, this affidavit is also mentioned about that how more than 1,700 cases of stone pelting was reported in the year 2018, but now it has come down to zero. So in the same way, the infiltration level is also down. The number of martyrdom of our soldiers is also come down because terror-related incidents are down. So they are trying to say that how the things have really improved. But I think this argument is not being bought by the mainstream political party leaders in Kashmir Valley. They are saying that there was a constitutional harakiri, and by enforcing silence and by talking about democratic rights, you are not going to change the reality on the ground. Umar Abdullah has gone to the extent of saying that this is only a political argument by which you can only get votes, but not a legal argument, because they feel it was a constitutional blunder that was committed by then government. But so far as the BJP is concerned, they are making it clear, because they are saying that if you are saying it's a betrayal of people, but at the end of the day, the people of Kashmir are benefiting because of Article 370. Their argument is that for the last 33 years, the people had been suffering because of death and destruction caused by a gun culture being sponsored from across the border, Pak-sponsored terrorism. So if the violence incident has come down, it is not terrorism, it is tourism in this region.
All
G20
right.
had been there.
Pradeep,
So
stay on with us. Stay on with us. Let's go across to Nilashish now. Nilashish, tell us about the withdrawals.
Well, as far as the withdrawals are concerned, of course, Swati, there are two in place as of now. Shah Faisal, who is the lead petitioner, who has, of course, withdrawn his petition, given the fact that now he's a part of the tourism ministry again, and also Shehla Rashid. Very interestingly, there were 23 petitions, and now since the lead petitioner has, in fact, withdrawn, the court was of the opinion that the case will now be called in re Article 370. As far as they are concerned, there were arguments with regard to that as well today. Of course, the procedural modalities, the logistics of the case were discussed today. But also another significant fact that came out was, of course, the affidavit that was filed yesterday by the centre, wherein the Solicitor General, appearing on behalf of the centre, said that there is no reason for anyone to shy away from the ground realities that have happened post the presidential order of the 5th of August. However, the CJI was of the opinion that at this point, the court is looking into constitutional aspect of this particular abrogation order, and therefore that particular affidavit will not hold, because that will not be taken into consideration, because that is a constitutional aspect that is challenged before the bench. However, as far as the petitioners are concerned, now there are 21 petitioners, and in this case now it will go on as in re Article 370 as far as the Supreme Court is concerned.
Right, absolutely. In fact, Nilashish, also help us understand what has happened so far. You know, for the past 4 years, this issue has been pending. The last hearing, like Harish highlighted, happened 3 years back. Ever since, we've only, of course, heard political reactions and developments that have taken place outside of the court.
Well, absolutely. It's been 3 years since the last hearing took place. A referral to a larger bench was not made, and there have been various CJIs there have been 2 CJIs that have come and gone since these matters were mentioned. So this has been playing out in the political field. In fact, with me is Mohit Bhatt, our political correspondent. Mohit, how do you see the manner in which the playing out of abrogation of 370 has played out, in fact, in the political circles?
Well, Neela, on one hand, we see that the hearing is going on. On the other hand, we see that how the political parties, they have been playing politics on this particular issue. We know that the parties from Jammu and Kashmir and various other opposition parties, they have been raising questions that why exactly there was need to abrogate Article 370. And they also say that the situation on the ground has not changed. They say that the Kashmiri Pandits have not been rehabilitated, and they give various other reasons that the terrorism still continues. But the center government clearly says that a strong action on terrorism, infiltration, stone pelting has been taken. Now it's been it's been 3
all
to 4 years.
All right. Nilashish, Mohit and Pradeep, for the moment, thank you very much for getting us those details. Key highlights, of course, that it is going to be a day-to-day hearing. The hearing will commence on 2nd of August. The court has set the terms. All parties have been asked to ensure that all the documents are compiled, and the court will ensure that there's a speedy hearing in the matter.